That's In From The Side, ref.
Welcome back to In From The Side, another week, another show. I'm back with my co-host and partner in crime, Matthew Rhodes.
G'day, mate.
How's it, Matt?
Good, buddy. Really good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm super excited for today's episode. We are doing something new.
Yeah.
We've wrapped up Mount Rushmore. If you haven't seen that series, it's been 4 months of debating the greatest players in the history of rugby. It was a lot of fun, but that's over and done with. Go and have a look at all the videos in the Real Rugby library. And always leave your comments. We welcome that. But today, I mean, the Six Nations had their fun. The Lions had their fun. But it's now time for the big boys to come out and play.
Proper rugby.
Rugby Championship is about to kick off this weekend. And I'm super excited, Matt.
You and me both, brother. It's going to be epic. Like, we've been looking forward to this for ages. There's been some warm-up games, let's call them that, against for the Boks against Georgia and Italy. And obviously the Aussies have had a really, strong series against the Lions, which have tested their mettle, and they proved some doubters wrong, and played some good footy through that. They were unfortunate to lose 2-1 as they did, but they come into this particular tournament with momentum and some confidence off the back of that. And then the Kiwi boys are going across to Argentina, and we'll talk about them in a different show. We're doing 2 shows this week, but we're going to focus today on the Springboks and Australia.
Which, for the first time in a couple of years, I'm actually a little bit nervous. If you look at how the Aussies finished that series against the Lions, they were very unlucky in the second test, dominated in the third test, and for the first time in quite a while, I'm a little bit iffy on, we're going to have to pull up our socks. They definitely will be more battle-hardened given their preparation for the Rugby Championship than what we were.
And we talked about it in different shows. If you haven't watched it before, go back and look at our archives, like your man said. But for one decision to have gone the other way from what it did, it would have been 2-1 to the Aussies. And so
could very easily have been.
Could have been that. And again, there's a lot of conjecture and debate around who would have pitched up on the day in the final test. But nevertheless, that's all done and dusted. The Northern Hemisphere boys have had their fun, and now the Southern Hemisphere boys get into the championship. And it's going to be a humdinger.
Yeah, and luckily we're shooting this on a Monday, and lucky for us, Rassie announced the team today.
Yes.
So we can quickly run through the team. Interesting selection. I mean, there's a couple of surprises. All the usual names are on there. We know that he trimmed the fat out of that squad that he had for the July internationals.
Doesn't look like it on the front row.
Doesn't look like it in the front row. I mean, that pack is pretty solid.
There's no trimming of the fat there, brother.
I mean, that is a scary looking front row. Oxenchair,
Malcolm Marx, Wilco Low.
Yeah.
Man.
That is the best front row in world rugby.
And dare I say it, one of the best back rowers to support them, Eben Etzebeth, Luat Diaga, coming in. It's like, let's focus on the front row first. Oxenchair, he's just been a man mountain for a fair few years, and he continues to just put in performance after performance. Malcolm Marx, we know, many love him, we love him.
Great player.
And then obviously Wilco Low, who's been knocking at the door. Boy is built like a brick shithouse. And has put in some good performances, and he gets the nod.
In Frans Malherbe's absence, he's really put his hand up. I mean, we criticised him a little bit for that first game against Italy, where he was a little bit pedestrian in carrying the ball, but in the second test, again,
he stood up.
He was his old self. And again, in the scrum, even if the Aussies pick Taniela Tupou and James Slipper, who are very renowned props, I don't see too many issues for us in the scrum. I think at a minimum, we'll have parity, but we should dominate, especially given the locks behind him with Luat back. And I mean, he really impressed. We were both impressed with Luat in the mid-year tests.
100%. And obviously, Eben is Eben. He's a fair play. So that is a formidable back row. But like lineouts, we should be super solid. We've got good lifters, good jumpers. And then, the loose trio of Marco, Mr. Eskom, Peter Steff, and then Sia at 8.
That's going to be the discussion point.
Yeah, Sia at 8. Obviously, he's coming in at 8 over selection of 1 or 2 others who miss out as a consequence. Through the most recent tests, the 8th man position was an anomaly because of what happened with Jasper. And Jasper's Butt was tried and did well.
He did well against Georgia.
Bloody well.
I liked him at 8.
He did well.
He was like a Donny Rousseau. You know, we spoke about versatile players. Like Cobus Visa has now proven that he can play lock, blindside, and number 8. So
and he did it well. He played it well. He played the position well, rather. So that's interesting that Sia comes in. But, tough gig for the others to miss out.
It is. I mean, Jean-Luc Deprez was part of the squad. Evan Roos will feel hard done by. Obviously, Jasper is being banned. He's out for 4 games. And Cameron Hanekom is injured. He's on the injury list. But I don't have an issue with it. I don't have an issue with Sia at 8. He played 8 for the Sharks in the URC. Did very well. We both, scored a couple of tries. He carried the ball strong. He didn't look out of place. So it's a different beast playing in that position at international level, but we know the quality of Sia, the player, the man. Rassi's not the type of guy to just roll the dice. They would have practiced. He would have really had a good chat to Sia and understand if he's up for it. And I think it's a gamble it's calculated, right? It's not. It doesn't come without any merit, and I'm looking forward to Sia shining, especially with that experience of Marku and Peter Steff, World Player of the Year on the side of the scrum. I think he'll be fine.
I think Marku's been outstanding.
He's been awesome.
He's been awesome for a fair while. Peter Steff writes his name as the first name on most of everyone's team sheets, mine in particular. Sia at 8 doesn't scare me at all. It doesn't feel like it's a kind of Hail Mary trial type thing. It feels structured and systematic, especially because he's played there before. And we talked about it previously. The Sia as a player is in himself worthy of being selected for the Bokke, right? But it's the peripheral stuff that he brings to the actual team and on game day that I think you look to go, we can't leave him off. So if there is a vacant position where you need someone to fill a gap, not that there was a gap because there were other people waiting in the wings, as we discussed, but if I want to pick Sia or I've got the option to pick, Dan or otherwise, I'm going Sia.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it. Okay, halfback pairing. Interesting again, because admittedly, neither of us are the biggest Manie Libbok fans. We both love Grant Williams. We think he's the best scrum off in the country.
I think he is. Yeah, Grant Williams is the best number 9.
Absolutely.
That we got. And he's grown into that role recently.
Mate, we spoke about it previously where we felt a little bit rushed the last 2 years.
He feels more composed now.
He's like, I still get the ball out quickly, but I take half a second just to scan my options, and then his decision making is a lot better than it was last year.
Sure. Manie Libbok, I think, played better than maybe we've given him credit for.
His kicking is better.
I think his distribution is good. His passing, he's got a great pass in him. He's really quick off the line. I think that is one of the things that sets him apart from the likes of Hendrik Pollard. So he hits the line at pace. He puts people into good positions. He is an outstanding fly-half. He needs maybe some of that composure that we have just talked about Grant Williams now having. Maybe he needs that in the 10 jersey. And a lot of that could
Maybe it does.
Maybe a lot of that could come down to the amount of pressure that he feels when he's putting on the green and gold, not when he's playing for the Stormers, because, when he puts on the Bokke jersey, it seems like he has the world's weight on his shoulders and he needs to perform. And the reality is, as Rassi has said, if you're good enough to be picked, you're good enough.
Yeah,
right?
Fair enough.
So
I hope he shines. I do want him to do well.
Every single time he puts on that jersey, I pray that he proves us wrong.
Absolutely.
And to be clear, none of us want to put any negativity on him. There's no neg going that way. We want him to shine. If he is the one that leads us to a World Cup, we back you. But the thing that scares us is every time that he has the ball in hand, or there's a few decisions that he takes, his kicking apart, he needs to improve on that, and it looks like he has. But his decision-making sometimes just makes me feel anxious.
I still think he needs to be tested under pressure.
Yeah.
So yes, his kicking the last test he played was decent.
Composure.
But it didn't come down to a kick to win us the game. If it's going to come down to a kick from halfway to beat the Aussies, do I back Manie to pick it? 50-50. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on from Manie.
Let's see how he goes.
Midfield.
Midfield, we've got Andre Estes and Jesse Creel. Jesse retains his position. at the
combo.
13, they're unbelievable. Like, but fair play. Our centre pairings have been outstanding for a fair while. Damien misses out. I don't know. Is he injured? I haven't.
Maybe he's
read.
got a slight niggle. Again, we've got that much depth in the squad that, you know, Damien's out, Cheslin's out.
Damien misses out, but Andre Esterhuizen gets a shout. It's a tough gig, eh?
And interestingly enough, we're going to get to the bench. Rassi picked a 5-3 bench, but technically he's got a 6-2 bench because now we know Andre Esterhuizen can play flank.
Yeah,
so
lekker.
it's going to be interesting.
Jesse, just been Mr. Solid, Mr. Consistent. On the wings, we've got Kurtley Arendse and Edwil van der Merwe.
Oh, man, I love
Very
that
happy
move.
for Edwil, eh?
What a legend.
Like his return on investment is almost up there with Will Jordan, just in terms of...
You know, when he made his debut against Wales at Twickenham last year, I never thought he would play more than that one test because he didn't play the rest of the year. So to see him get more opportunities and score tries and, you know, do the job of any good winger and finish is great to see. And if Cheslin's not playing, pick him. I love it.
100%. Kurtley Arendse on the other wing. He's just been solid for so
Lethal
long.
as always.
He's lethal. And then Apelele Fassi. We were talking off air before. You thought maybe Damien Willemse would be good at 15. He comes off the bench.
You know what? It's just because Damien's been out for a year. And I'm such a big fan. He was one of the best players on the field in the World Cup. You know, he sort of took over from Willie during the World Cup. So I'd love to see him in the mix a lot more.
But maybe this is how he bleeds back in.
But he's your cover in the back line. He can cover inside centre, fullback, fly off. So I get why he's on the bench. He plays that Frans Steyn type of role that Steinke played for the Boks. So I totally get the reasoning. But I think he's good enough to start.
Taking nothing away from Apelele, he has been outstanding.
Absolutely.
Every time he puts on that green and gold, he makes great decisions.
Brilliant.
Some of those chip through kicks for the other tries in the most recent games, you know, were just a simple touch of class. I think he had one off the left, one off the right in the same game. Yeah. Like, your man is, and dare I say it, he was a good player in his own right initially, but maybe that buddy system and the kind of pastoral care that Rassi has implemented around some of the senior players and Willie and Apelele, you know, very famously kind of budding up together, working together, you know, Apelele learning the ropes from Willie. That's been in place, and I think now for about a year to 18 months, maybe even a little bit longer, we're seeing the dividends of that.
Absolutely.
Fair.
Love it. Okay.
Right.
Who's going to come on and make a difference
in the
second half?
Bongi's straight off the bench. Jan Hendrik Wessels, and then Asimnatin Kwabakanya comes as well.
Great to see him get another run.
Let's hope the bench chairs are strong enough to hold your man.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Also,
he is a man mountain.
He is.
We love him.
I love the fact that they picked Jan Hendrik Wessels as a loose head cover, not as hooker. I still think his future is at loose head. Bongi, I think, has got a point to prove because his throwing of the line out when he came on in the mid-year test was something's off. He's not finding his jumpers. So hopefully they worked on that. We know how good he is. Yeah. So he's got a point to prove. Who else is in the pack?
So we got, obviously, Franco, Mostert and Kwagga Smith coming off. Franco, just, you know what you get.
The engine on that guy, similar to Peter Steff.
He runs through brick walls and he'll do it day in and day out. Was it the Wales test, his first test?
Yeah, it was Wales last year.
When he came back off after his injury and he just played out of his boots.
Absolutely.
You know what you're going to get with your man. Same with Kwagga. Kwagga is Mr. Impact off the bench.
He never disappoints off the bench.
Yeah, he is. Not to say that he disappoints when he's picked, as a starter, but I think we've discussed this before, is more impactful off the bench.
Absolutely. Yeah. Totally agree.
Then we've got Kobus Reinach, and I think, fair play to him, he deserves a spot. He's had very few games where I've looked and gone, that was a poor performance. Yeah. Like, he has been consistently good, both at sort of club level and, when he's come on to play for the Boks over the course of the last year. So nice for him to get a nod.
I agree. Like we said, these two nines that we have in the squad, I think they're the two best that we've got.
Yeah. And then you've got Kane Moody, which, again, he can play wing, he can play centre.
He can play fullback.
He can play fullback. So a nice little utility situation there. And equally, Damien Willemse.
Yeah, it's great to see him back.
So we've got a lot of variety, a lot of flexibility. We've got options. Again, it's the 5-3.
5-3 bench,
5-3
but with Esterhuizen in the midfield. It could be a 6-3 actually, if you think about it.
And if you think about the types of loose forwards, stick Kwagga in at centre on the wing.
Inside,
Yeah, happy days. So,
why not?
So for all the bullshit, and that's a lot of that is what it is. That Matt Williams and his particular army of negative sayers out there keep spouting around, the bench.
Nothing
the
the Boks ever do is in the spirit of the game, apparently.
Yeah, he can go and eat some humble pie, I think. And again, Rusty just delivered that to him in spades this week in terms of their online spat. But at the end of the day, your man is using our bench and his starting in such a very innovative way where he's got so much flexibility, he's got so much variety, he's got so much power, strength, and speed in and amongst all the players that he can put them into different positions, which maybe they aren't traditionally looked upon, but they can still do a job.
Yeah.
And you think to yourself as a coach, how do I get all of these 23 to play in a way that's going to make our team win the game? And I think he's doing that well. So, yeah, Matt Williams can go and cuck in the daisies,
He can go and cock in the daisies.
as they say.
Okay, so we've picked a strong team. We're quite happy with the team selection. Should we be worried about the Aussies coming to the Highveld at Ellis Park? We're going to show some highlights later, but they don't have a good record at Ellis Park. They've never won there in the Rugby Championship.
I don't think we should be worried, but I think we should give them the due respect. And looking at that team, Rusty's done exactly that. He hasn't picked I remember when Eddie Jones said South Africa were fielding a B team,
Yeah.
and then we went out and smashed them. And then he had to kind of like field questions, so was it a B team thereafter? This isn't a B team by any stretch.
No, this is close to the best we can.
This is world beaters, and so that is a tip of the cap to Australia to go, we're giving you your fair dues. This is respect. We want to make a statement, and so we're putting an exceptionally strong team forward, both in terms of the starters and on the bench. I don't see us losing. I think it's going to be a humdinger.
I think it's going to be a great game. I hope it's not a runaway. The last 4 games that we played against Australia, we beat them quite convincingly. We beat them twice with a so-called second-tier team last year in Australia. So I really hope they pitch and that they're not hung over from the Lions series, and that they take that momentum from the third test and give us a good showing. We want the Aussies to be competitive, just not win.
No, again, I don't think it would do us a disservice for them to win. I think if they were to win, we might look at ourselves and go, we need to be better. And that's always a good thing. I don't see that happening.
Mate, I would rather scrape through and win by a point and then also come to that conclusion and say, you know what, we could have been better.
Yeah.
And then smash them in Cape Town.
I don't see that happening. Like, at the end of the day, there's some really good players in and amongst that Aussie outfit. Collectively, though, to a man, barring 1 or 2 selections, I'd pick all of our Boka over them.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So on that, especially in the way that we've been playing, I don't see us losing. I do hope that it is an absolute battle. I want to see some proper challenges.
Yeah.
More so because I think we haven't been tested in the lead up to this, and they have been. And so it'd be good for them to bring their A game, and for us to do the same, and for us to have the win, but on merit, and go, right, now our medal has been tested. Let's take that momentum and that kind of level of competency throughout the entire tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't seen the Australian team. They haven't announced it yet, but just assuming who is going to pick, there's some battles to look forward to. Taniela Tupu versus Oxenchair in the scrum. Skelton versus Etzebeth is going to be a great one. And they're going to try and intimidate each other.
Neither of those 2 boys take a step back.
No, they
and
won't.
I love it.
They won't. Both captains now at number 8, with Sia being 8. So it's going to be Harry Wilson and Sia at 8.
Yeah.
And then in the midfield, I think Jesse Creel against Suali'i is going to be something to look forward to. So
really
all
good.
in all, we're looking forward to it, Matt. So we are super amped for Saturday's game. And to get the folks out there in YouTube land a little bit excited about Saturday's game, we went back into the archives and we looked at all the matches between the Springboks and Australia at Ellis Park in the Tri-Nations or the Rugby Championship over the last 28 years, 30 years almost. And we picked 10 of our most favourite moments. Have a look.
Turnover is good. Turnover for South Africa. Yankees. And Tawarira. And now Esterhuizen. And Corsi gets away from Slipper. Yankees to his inside. What a dream test debut for Herschel Yankees. Kepu. Yankees. Stain. And Yankees sniping to the short side. Oh, he's stolen one. Brilliant. From captain.
And as Labuskakni works up towards the 22. De Kock, Russell, Barry, Hubert, Russell. Sydney is well. Russell is away. Russell will put South Africa in the lead.
Magical try.
To Ariera. It's been knocked on by the Wallabies. James de Villiers. Now, lovely ball for Jacobs. Now, what can Eddie Jacobs do? That's what he can do. He becomes the highest try scorer of the season with Bismarck du Plessis.
And oh, so easy. I said before the game, South Africa's threat so far this season has come from Sean de Villiers is straightening, and Eddie Jacobs is linking, and it's a
Mum on for Hugh McMiniman for the Wallabies. Good take by Madfield, January. Pienaar makes it a real drubbing, and 40 points for the Springboks.
and boy does he make it look easy. So
that ball brilliantly through the tackle.
Good work at the back by Tashman, but he's quickly bottled up by the Australians. And he has the drive. This is Adrian Garvey. Well, a lot of people are going to say, where on earth did Garbs come from?
Ollie LaRue with the throw. Skinstat couldn't get. This is George Smith in space. George Smith, has he the pace to go all the way? Polster gets back, stays on his feet. Now it's that looks like it's Brendan Cannon who's got in for the try. It is Labuskakni. Rautenbach goes in. Conradi, Russell, wide for Skinstat. Van is there. Skinstat well tackled there by, amongst others, Dregan. Another ball for South Africa. Oh, Werner, look at this!
Miraculous from Werner Greef. Glory to the Springboks as everybody's out.
Keep your head down. Follow through. Remember everything you've been taught. But look at the Wallabies charging up. He's kicked it dead centre. And the Springboks celebrate. Defend. This is Jonas Labuskakni. Dalton in there. There goes De Kock. Greef. If they go wide and straight here, Dean Hall. Skinstat needs to go straight. Get his hands through beautifully. Joe van Niekerk. Watch this for a sprint. The heart of Joburg will go mad about that. Javier James, de Villiers, James again, John Chers, little Dadford and Dungani to chase. Now it's the bounce. Adwan Dungani, history has been made here. John Ganokwe goes into the ring.
Rousseau in at scrum half. Mala. South Africa wants some superior rocking in these situations. They've got to drive the Australians off the ball and not allow them to regroup. Rousseau. Skinstat standing off.
hands off, gold.
So for the third time now, South Africa come at them. Skinstat through, what a beautiful dummy, and Bobby Skinstat with a big dive. Believe me, he has enjoyed that.
I don't care where you...
So there we have it. Those are the 10 best that we could find looking into the archives, going back at this particular event, at this venue, between these two teams. We loved watching those and putting that little clip together for you guys. Werner, what was your favorite?
Difficult to pick. I mean, so many great memories. I was lucky enough to be at 2 of those games.
Nice.
I was at the 98 game at Ellis Park when we won the Tri-Nations for the first time. Our mate Adrian Garvey, he's a big mate of the channel. He scored a great try that day. And then in 02, I was also at Ellis Park with my dad. Met John Smith on the bus before the game. He didn't play that day. And we beat the Aussies. And I think that was one of my favourite games to remember, because we led for most of that game. Brent Russell wasn't supposed to start at fly-off. I think Andre Pretorius was
He was
picked.
wearing 22 on his back,
And then he got injured just before kickoff in the warm-up, and Brent Russell got put into the starting lineup, and he played an absolute blinder. He scored a brilliant try. He put his outside backs into space.
What a legend player, by the way.
What a great player.
He doesn't get enough. Maybe he should have been considered for our utility and our Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
but like,
should
your
have.
man usually was on wing, came in at fly half, did a job that day.
Played really, really well. Werner Greef took over the kicking duties. I remember Brendan Cannon scoring that long-range try 5 minutes before time.
So that was one of my favorite points that I wanted to bring up, was the Brendan Cannon try that we just showcased. More so because of Gregan's reaction. Because, again, in a very Australian way, and we struggled to find many good Australian
At
moments.
Ellis Park, they've
this
always been
fixture.
dominated.
Yeah. But Gregan, with a few minutes left on the clock, his reaction to the crowd, very much, we've won it. And then Werner Greef, unfortunately, put his tears to
4
bed.
minutes later, scored a great try and kicked the conversion
What a ledge.
to win it. Yeah. The sad thing is that was our only win in the Tri Nations that year. So we didn't have a particularly good year. That was Rudolf Streuli's first year. But
Great moments, though.
Still a great moment. And I think that drubbing of the Aussies at Ellis Park in 08, 53-8, I think was the final score. We lost to Australia twice that year. Lost to them in Australia, lost to them at Durban. And then payback was sweet on the day. But I think one of our collective favourite memories was that day at Ellis Park in 1998 when Gary Teichmann lifted the Tri Nations for the first time.
Sure.
And a particular try that we both love.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I loved Big Joe's try. And there were a couple of other moments. Jongwen Noka getting 4 tries in a game.
Yeah, in 08.
Amazing. Andries Becker with catching the ball wide, and then going through to score. All good moments. But growing up, the Bobby Skinstad try, where he was involved in the lead up, put himself as first receiver, and you're thinking, why are you standing at 10? But he did. He gets the ball, and like a silky 10, does a dummy, but behind his back. Everyone buys it. He goes through, scores into the post. The amount of times I think when we were playing barefoot rugby growing up that I tried to do that.
Everyone tried that move.
Tried that move, like behind. And I think I did it a couple of times playing rugby in an actual game against another school here and there. But nevertheless, it just is a cemented memory of one of the best moments of this particular fixture in my mind.
Yeah, and one of the greatest players ever in a Springbok jersey. So
mate, some of those tries we showed where Bobby put his ball handling skills for
Big Joe's try.
Big Joe's try.
Offload in the tackle was absolutely brilliant.
He was unbelievable. Really talented, skillful, really athletic. And he had some silky ball skills. His hands were off the Richter, more like a back than a forward.
Absolutely. Well, there you have it. Those were our top 10 moments between the Springboks and the Aussies at Ellis Park during the Tri Nations or the Rugby Championship.
Yeah.
Leave your comments in the comment section below. Which moment did we miss out on? So we decided that we're going to go through all the comments and we will find the footage of every single moment that you mentioned. And then in next week's show, we will give you an honourable mention and show that clip. So what did we miss? A famous tackle, an incident, a yellow card. Is there anything outside of the tries that we didn't think of? Leave your comments in the comment section below and tell us.
What do you think has been the best moment in this particular fixture? We'll have it as our favourite fan moment.
Our fan moment of the week.
Our fan moment of the week. We're going to go through and we'll watch all the archives. It gives us something really great to watch, so you're helping us out. But let us know. Let us know the moment that really stands out for you. And we'll showcase it and we'll give you a shout out next week.
Absolutely. And apart from your comments, remember to click the notification button at the bottom of the screen and follow us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. We're on all the social medias. We're both picking the Bokke to win. Go boys.
Cheers.
Cheers.